Just yesterday we finally had the reveal for PlayStation VR's price tag, which of course is £350 just for the base unit, not including the mandatory PlayStation camera or the arguably necessary PlayStation Move controllers. But now we have some comments from an analyst regarding just how much market share he is predicting PlayStation VR will net itself in 2016. Now these comments come from IHS Technologies Director of Games, Piers Harding-Rolls, and he is predicting that even with the VR headset not coming out until October, PlayStation VR will dominate the market with 64% of the installed base in 2016. However, that is not counting mobile VR. Now this roughly translates to 1.6 million units sold and is consistent with a previous report from Superdata Research, which estimated about 1.9 million units when it was expected that PlayStation VR was going to be coming out in the first half of the year. However, Superdata's estimate on market share is drastically different. Now, back to Piers' estimations, he is estimating that PlayStation 4 will have a much bigger addressable market this year than the Oculus Rift and HTC Vive. And he had this to say, quote, "With the forecast installed base of 53 million PS4s by the end of 2016, Sony has a much bigger addressable market of ready-to-go consumers to address than PC-based solutions. In contrast, IHS forecasts that 17 million consumers will be addressable by Oculus Rift and HTC Vive by the end of 2016. And he is also saying that Sony's experience with the PlayStation platform will help them create some quality content for the PS4 VR headset. And he said, quote, "Sony has confirmed that over 230 developers are working on the PlayStation VR platform. Sony's existing in-house expertise and third-party relationships mean it is well positioned to build a strong body of content for launch of the platform. Sony's walled garden approach to the PS4 platform means it is well placed to provide a better controlled and consistent VR experience to consumers. This will be important in driving adoption and positive word of mouth for PlayStation VR." And then he further commented on Twitter that he feels the price is, quote, "bang on the money," and that the October release date makes perfect sense. And he says, quote, "October 2016 launch date makes much better sense for the PS4 business." Now, of course, those high numbers are just for the addressable market. This, of course, is out of quote now for Piers. But, of course, if you have a higher install base, even if you have the same percentage of people buying it as your competitor has a smaller install base, you get what I'm saying. Larger install base equals more people, even if it's the same percentage of people buying it. So a larger install base is definitely something Sony has to their advantage, of course, as well as the price tag. Even if you count in the camera, which of course is mandatory, that adds about another 50 to 60 quid onto the price tag, depending if you buy it new or pre-owned or whatever. Now, undoubtedly there will be bundles, but still, and that of course is not further counting the PlayStation Move. Now, how necessary that is really depends on the games. There might be some that can only be used with the Move, or maybe each developer will keep in mind that some may just be using their DualShock 4. It's really hard to say just how necessary that would be. But even with the camera counted into the price, PlayStation VR is still cheaper than Oculus and of course the Vive. And while it's only a difference of £100 between the PlayStation VR plus the camera versus the Oculus Rift, you obviously have to keep in mind that the Oculus Rift requires a PC that is seriously beefy and of course is quite expensive to build or upgrade to, even if you already have a decent PC. Whereas, of course, with PlayStation VR, if you have a PS4, you're good to go, plus a camera, of course. So, he does have some valid points, but it's going to be interesting to see how the performance actually works out, because I feel like that is something that is definitely going to be make or break with VR. You can't get away with low frame rates, because it will result in motion sickness, and that will just result in lower sales, because no one wants to feel sick while they're playing games, or really ever, to be honest. So, performance is going to be key. It's not all about the install base, but it's definitely going to be a big advantage for Sony. It's going to be interesting to see how they fare against PC and, of course, AMD's Cylon Q, which, of course, is going to be completely untethered to anything, and it's going to be both VR and AR. So it's going to be really interesting, and, of course, the HoloLens as well, but we have no clue when that's coming out. So it's not really worth bringing that to the equation just yet, because Microsoft have said they want to see how the market does before they release it, so we probably won't be seeing anything from the HoloLens in terms of release anytime soon, but of course I could be wrong. That is pure speculation. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I will see you next time. Do remember to like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. It's very much appreciated, and I'll see you next time.